Welcome back. This is Retirement News Online. The term fiduciary has been in the news a lot lately. That's because of the Department of Labor's new fiduciary rule. Here to talk about this is my guest, Paul Mershon with Silverhawk Financial in Scottsdale, Arizona. Paul, welcome back. So the term fiduciary probably means a lot to you, but not to the average person. Can you explain what a fiduciary is?
Well, Webster makes it real simple. It's anytime you have a power or a property entrusted to another individual for the benefit of somebody else, that individual is acting as a fiduciary. Ironically, a lot of the noise that you're hearing, Scott, and the reason there's so many questions being raised is in April of 2016, the Department of Labor decided after many years of study to issue what's really been called a fiduciary rule. And it took them 1,023 pages to define a fiduciary. So it's going to be real interesting over the next couple of years to see exactly what their intent is and what that means.
So then, Paul, talk about how this affects the average investor who may not have been working with a fiduciary in the past.
Yeah, the challenge is our firm at Silverhawk Asset Management, we're a registered investment advisory firm. And that means that we're registered based on an act that was passed, an investment act in 1940. And arguably that defines fiduciary. So we've operated ever since the inception of our firm as a fiduciary and take that responsibility very seriously on behalf of our clients. The Department of Labor is concerned about people that aren't registered in that fashion. So for example, a securities broker dealer, those registered representatives are typically a transaction-based environment. And in a transaction-based environment, there's an opportunity to generate commissions. And it appears what the Department of Labor's concern was specifically in advising retirement planning clients is that there might be a conflict of interest on the part of the advisor if they generate a commission based on what they recommend the client do. So it's possible one product pays a higher commission than another. I haven't observed that in our experience, but that's really what the goal of the Department of Labor's fiduciary rule is. And there will be a follow-up to this sometime expected in not too distant future, is the Securities Exchange Commission is actually bringing out a broader definition of what a fiduciary is and what they anticipate that means as well.
Well, finally, Paul, how does one know if they are working with the right advisor, one who has their best interest in mind?
One of the simple things you can do is you can go to BrokerCheck. It's available through FINRA. FINRA is the regulatory organization for the securities industry. And under BrokerCheck, if you search the name of the firm, it will identify if they're a registered investment advisor or not, which it does put them underneath that fiduciary rule responsibility. The other things I would do is, even in addition to that information, I would query the financial advisor as to methods and means of compensation. Because it's important we meet a lot of clients that come into our firm that really don't understand how they've been paying their advisor. And that should be fully disclosed, public information. Registered investment advisors have a brochure that's publicly available. It's distributed to every client they give that defines not only their fiduciary responsibility, but as well defines their means of compensation so the clients know very clearly, very transparently, what the relationship is. And if you're not seeing that from your advisor, my suggestion is you probably want to do some interviews with some other people.
Paul, thanks again. Appreciate your time.
Oh, my pleasure, Scott. I appreciate the opportunity.
My guest has been Paul Mershon with Silverhawk Financial in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you're watching Retirement News Online.